In this video, I'm gonna react and review your predictions for chapter 1168, and if you want to be included for next week's prediction video, make sure to follow me on X, and let's get into your predictions. Harald will return to Elbaf, and Ida's death will make him even more devoted to his goal. Harald will be offered the deep sea contract. Shanks will meet with Harald in Elbaf. Emo controls Harald because he can now. Loki and Hyrodin will be summoned to the castle. Shanks already met Harald, but I mean, you mean in Elbaf, right? I think it makes sense. And Harald, I think your prediction honestly makes sense, but the thing is, all that in the previous chapter happened 15 years ago, and we all know that Harald died 14 years ago. So is there enough time for all that to happen or not? I think the final chapter is the final time or the last time for Harald in Morijua, in my opinion. But is there a comeback for him? I don't know. Is he gonna come back to Morijua? I don't know. But I think that is his final time in Morijua, in my opinion. But I think your prediction makes is pretty valid, in my opinion. Shanks flashback. Whitebeard crew versus Shanks crew. Ace novel implies it. Blackbeard scarred Shanks. I think we're already past that in this flashback, but I mean, at the same time, this flashback is for Harald and Loki. It's for the story of Harald and how did he die and all the things that he's done. I don't think it's about Shanks. It's just Shanks. He was included in this flashback because it is in the same storyline as Harald's, because he's in Morijua and everything and all of that, right? So I don't think we're gonna see anything related to Shanks. Like you said, but maybe some stuff, yeah, in Morijua and in Elbaf, because Shanks is there, right? But your Whitebeard versus Shanks crew and all that, I don't think it's gonna happen, honestly. Shanks/Shamrock learn about the Gomo Gomo. Yes, absolutely perfect, bro. I'm not even gonna add anything to that. Absolutely perfect prediction. We will see Loki and Shanks talk. Of course, Loki will be defeated by Shanks, but actually that person was Shamrock. I mean, you mean that the storyline where Shanks defeated Loki, right? But that happened 8 years ago or 6, I think. The same year Shanks became a Yonko. But this story is about the death of Harald and that incident, that day. So I think that's way past the whole death of Harald. I don't think that's gonna happen. I mean, if you're gonna see this in this flashback, it's definitely not gonna be in the upcoming chapter. Harald focused chapter. Harald will witness one of the Celestials take a giant to be their slave and see how the future of all his efforts end up. Harald returns to Elbaf on a heavy heart to Ida's death, which will be the last string that breaks his sanity. And at the end of the chapter, his death. I absolutely agree with everything you said. I definitely agree with the fact that the next chapter is gonna be a Harald heavy focused chapter. Definitely yes. And yeah, mostly I agree with all your takes for the predictions. In my opinion, yes, I do see Harald losing his sanity because he's seen enough. That is it, right? That's it. I think maybe we could see him potentially because of his contract. He can't betray the world government, so he's gonna ask his son Loki to kill him in that incident, in that famous incident where Harald actually died. The end of Harald. Yes, I agree. I think at the end of the chapter 1168, we're gonna see the death, that incident where Loki and Jarl entered that castle and they've seen Harald being or dying at that time, or being absolutely stabbed in all ways, right? So I think, yeah, at the end of the upcoming chapter, we're gonna see the end of King Harald. We will see Harald's death. We will see Blackbeard scar Shanks. I feel there's Joy Boy mention. I don't know why. I mean that's bold predictions in my opinion. I mean, if they actually happen, it's gonna absolutely be an amazing chapter. But I do agree with the previous guy, Slayer Low, that he said it's gonna be a Harald focused chapter. So I don't think we're gonna see Blackbeard scarring Shanks. And maybe the Joy Boy mention, I think that makes sense, especially the fact that it's Harald, Loki, and all that. It could potentially happen. But at the end of the day, remember that Elbaf is synonymous with Nika, not Joy Boy. So if we're gonna get a Joy Boy mention, who's gonna get? Where were we even gonna get it from, right? I mean, Nika makes more sense, but Joy Boy, I don't know. I don't see it happening, honestly. Some wild guesses since no one could expected the Shanks plot. Blackbeard sneaking through Morijua. Shanks meets Blackbeard. He explains his plan to gather information about Emu. As example, the conditions of Dummy Reversi. Small flashback with Shanks Roger conversation. He means that with this picture after Roger reached Laugh Tale and Shanks cried after their conversation. Back to Elbaf, Ida lies in bed and is about to die. Either Harald, Hyrodin or Loki is on her side. Only the barkeeper girl and the doctor. Okay, that makes sense. Loki later learns that Ida has died. He stays cool, goes to the underworld, and then starts crying. Oh my god, dude, I'm gonna start crying right now. Back to Marijua, Shamrock suspects Shanks as the traitor. Due to his actions, Harald become official a holy knight. In an epic double spread, we see how bowing to Emu. We see him bowing to Emu, I'm sorry. We see Harald bowing to Emu. That makes sense. Cliff, dude, wait. I just realized. Dude, imagine if we're gonna see Harald bowing to Emu. So not only Harald actually knows about Emu-sama, Harald bowing to Emu. Holy shit. Okay, let's get into your final part. Cliffhanger is them about to talk about future of Elbaf, and that is the end of the chapter, dude. Honestly, Kirai, I truly enjoy reading your predictions because I love the details that you put into, and I love that they always make sense. All the predictions make sense. Like, even most of them are, it's just exciting, right? I mean, just reading your predictions is so exciting. So I think, yeah, they all make sense. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna actually happen or not, but I genuinely hope that they do happen, like your predictions become correct, because it's gonna be a fun chapter. And I believe that 1168 is definitely gonna be a fun chapter, because there's no way Oda's not gonna make this chapter amazing, because with all the actions we're getting right now, it's just impossible for the upcoming chapters to not be even great, right? Holy Knights find out Harald and Shanks freed slaves and plotted to kill Harald. Okay, this is actually interesting, and I mean, you're assuming that Harald actually freed the slaves with Shanks and Fisher Tiger and all that, right? I don't think he did, but assumingly, let's say he did. Okay, that's actually a great prediction, honestly. If this happens, it's gonna be amazing. The fact that the Holy Knights actually killed Harald because he was doing something nice. But at the same time, Harald is being absolutely sacrificing everything for the sake of Elbaf becoming part of the community and all that, right? For the bigger picture, for Elbaf to be included in that whole community, right? So freeing slaves and doing something like seemingly stupid in front of the Holy Knights, in front of the Celestial Dragons, is just gonna put you in a risk that they're just gonna kill you, right? So I don't think Harald is gonna do that, and if he does, I think he's gonna be the stupidest character to ever exist in One Piece history, okay? And I guess these are our predictions for chapter 1168. I truly enjoyed your predictions. The upcoming chapter seemingly is gonna be just about the story of Harald, right? I think it makes sense for it to be the story of, about the story of Harald. Hopefully, some Shanks inclusion, maybe Blackbeard, as some of you all saying, maybe Lucas. I mean, definitely Lucas stuff. Hopefully, Emu stuff. It's gonna be exciting chapter. Thank you guys for watching. Write your predictions. Like, if you got more in the comments, write in the comments. I'm definitely gonna read them. Thank you guys for watching. Get out of here.